Hey folks, hope you're well. It's hopefully not going to be too noisy in the background today because we've got Ben home from nursery. He's got a day off and I can just hear him going rah, rah, rah in the background. I'm recording at an odd time for once. It's basically, Friday midday. Normally I record in the evening after work, and I have been trying to record all week, but it's just been one of those weeks, kind of like last week was. So yeah, he's downstairs making lots of roaring noises. I've just had to sit here for 2 minutes waiting for the washing machine to stop whirring and all of this. So fingers crossed we'll get through a video. It'll be nice and smooth. I've tried my best to make it work, but yeah, we'll see. So it has been a bit of a weird week. The reason the washing machine's been going so much is because on Saturday, I think it was, I woke up, went downstairs with Ben early, was just lounging around with him, and about 10 o'clock, because Claire and I take it in turns to have lie-ins, so when I have a lie-in, I kind of get up really late. I end up laying in bed just on Twitter, on Reddit, doing kind of just general messing around online, chilling in bed, and then I get up for like lunchtime or something, and Claire does that the other day, although she doesn't do it quite as extreme as me. So this week, she decided, without really kind of talking to me about it in advance, she decided to dye her hair and have a shower and everything beforehand. Not that she'd need to normally talk to me about it in advance, but when I'd been washing up the day before, every time I put the hot water on, our boiler had kind of gone and been making these really weird noises like an angry whale. And we kept thinking, well, that's a bit weird, that's a bit odd. So then I don't know, if she'd have said to me she was going to dye her hair, I'd have probably said, let's check it. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe I'm just looking at that with hindsight. But generally, she came downstairs. Well, she sent Emily down first to say the hot water wasn't on, and I was like, right, I'll deal with it in a second. I'm just putting something on for Ben. And then because I was taking too long with Ben, Claire came down with hair dye all over her hair and was like, really like, there's no hot water, what do we do? So I went to just check. I tried just messing with the pressure and pulling loads of levers and taps and whatever, like I normally do, and normally that works. I had Emily kind of going at me about it, just come on, mummy's waiting, get on with it, she's like urgent. And I'd got the hot water on, but it seemed to just go off again, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. So we were just like a bit, what's happening? And in the end, we established it just wasn't any. It wasn't going to happen. I tried everything I could think of. Nothing seemed to be working. I tried just turning it off. Claire was in a panic because the hair dye was like draining into her face. She was getting it in her mouth and all sorts, and she tried to put a towel around it all, and she was having a right panic because she was thinking, well, what if it like disintegrates her hair? What if it makes the colour ridiculous? What if she swallows it and it's toxic? Couldn't say the word. And she was panicking. I was stressing because I was trying to make it work and fix it without her getting sick or whatever, or wrecking her hair. I kept thinking, what if she just ends up completely bald because it's burnt through? I know that probably isn't feasible, but you hear horror stories about hair dye going wrong. So yeah, we were in the right old panic. I rang British Gas in a right huff and was just like, look, we were supposed to get our boiler serviced in April, and because of COVID, you haven't done it, and your delay says it's 3 months, so we should have had it done May, June, July. It should have been done in summer. It hasn't been done. It's October now. Our boiler's stopped working. You should have serviced this. Why didn't you? They were like, well, we'll send someone out, but it's going to be a £60 excess. And I was like, this is outrageous. They were like, and there might be fees if there's more to do, whatever. We'll cover it. We'll sort it out. They told me they were going to send someone for mid-November. And I was just like, this is ridiculous. Like, I've got 3 kids in the house. One of our children is autistic. We're not going to survive this long without any kind of heat. It was no heating, no hot water. I was already feeling gross because I hadn't had a wash that day. I'd been sort of sat with Ben downstairs waiting to have a shower once Claire was up. And I was told we were going to have to wait 14 days. Coupling that with the fact that Emily is in isolation for 14 days because of school, it just meant we couldn't even go to, well, we could have probably gone to her mum's. That was our plan. We're thinking we'll go to Claire's mum's for a wash. That'll be fine. We'll be okay. Then Ben, bless him, got a fever. So we were stuck in this catch-22 of Ben had a fever only for like an hour, but he had a fever. And we were like, okay, we can't go anywhere now to have a wash. We can't wait 14 days. I can't tell British Gas that it's a problem because they're not going to send someone sooner if Ben's got a fever. So I had a right panic on them because I was just like, I said to Claire, I'm just going to tell them they need to come sooner. Well, to put it actually straight, before Ben's fever, I'd argued with them and they'd said they'd send someone the Monday or the Tuesday, and they were seeing what their availability was. They were going to get back to me. But then Ben got his fever and I was stressing, and I said to her, what do we do? Because we either tell them and we have to wait 2 weeks, which is the right thing to do completely, but we could end up just absolutely being rough as hell for 2 weeks by having no wash, no hot water or anything, or we just like keep well away from the guy, let him in and be really masked up. But I feel like that's not safe, and Claire's like, that's illegal, that's not allowed, you can't do that. So I rang British Gas and I was like, look, my son's got a fever, he's going for a COVID test, we don't know what the results are. I was really worrying they were going to say no, we can't do anything, and they were like, it's fine, we'll send someone, he'll just wear a plastic mask and it'll all be fine. It doesn't matter, we have to come in either way, they're coming on Monday. So they said to me as well, if it turned out to be, they'd play it by ear, if it turned out to be something that should have been covered in a service, then they'll give me a refund. So I was delighted with them then. They were like, okay, we'll send someone out. We only had to go Saturday, Sunday, Monday without a wash. And then by the Monday, I mean, I'd been using a flannel every day and I felt so grim. I think it was just mentally, I felt terrible. I was probably very fine because I was like absolutely, I mean, I got through every flannel in the house that wasn't used by someone else. I was using towels in the end to clean myself, just big wet towels that I was using to just scrub myself all over. And I just couldn't feel clean. And I was like washing my hair in the cold shower and all of this, and it just didn't feel right, even though it probably was absolutely fine. You know, I was like using extra deodorant. I just got it right in my own head. But the guy came out and he took it all open and he said that it was just a blockage and it could have, you know, well, I said to him, could this have been done in a service? And he said, probably not. But then when I spoke to the guy over the phone, they said that, yeah, the kind of blockage that they put on the notes is probably the only thing a service could have prevented out of any of the potential things that could have gone wrong. So they're giving me a refund, which is brilliant. Yeah, I'm really pleased with that. It took them probably 2 hours to sort it out. They serviced it as well. Because we had no washing to do for those 3 days, we've been in overdrive all week, but he fixed it and he asked us to put the heating on max, and he wanted to go around the house looking at all the heaters, and every room was just a tip. We completely descended into anarchy in those 3 days. We had clothes everywhere that needed washing because the wash baskets were overflowing. There was just, we were sorting out Emily's room, and we've just sorted out Oliver's room, and so their rooms were a mess, and the guy was going between them, and Claire was like, sorry for the mess, sorry it's a mess in here, sorry it's a mess in here. I thought he's going to think we live in squalor all the time. It was very embarrassing. But yeah, he fixed that straight away. That night I went and had a really hot bath. It was amazing, felt so good. I was like cold. I don't normally get cold, but because it was in my head, I was cold to like my core. My bones felt cold, so having a hot bath was like the best feeling ever. I ended up having a hot bath at night and then a shower the next morning, just because I was like, I want more of that hot water. That was fantastic. Been loving it. I've literally just got out of a hot shower before I did this video as well, so I'm kind of just addicted to it this week because it was horrible being without it. Ben went for his test. Had the nose swab up the nose at the back, round his mouth and all of that. Claire had to take him to it. She was very stressed about, well, she was stressed about getting there and it going wrong or something, but she, you know, she got there, she did it. She said that she swabbed Ben's nose, and then he excitedly kept just saying to the man, it went up my nose, it went in my nose, it's been up my nose and all of this. And the man was like laughing at how excited Ben was to have been probed like that. And it came back within 24 hours negative, all good. So we rang nursery and we said, look, not Monday, the weekend, whatever day it was, Saturday, Sunday, he had a fever. It was Wednesday now, can he come back in tomorrow? They were like, yeah, it's fine, it's been 48 hours since his symptoms. You've not had he didn't have a cough, didn't have anything else going on, no other fevers since. I think he just got really hot all of a sudden. I don't know if that's connected, like, if it's just that he had a bit of a cold, or whether it's connected to the fact it was really cold out, but I don't know. I don't really know how fevers work. He just had one. He was very hot. He got some Calpol, it went away, but it set off a big stress all round, as you can imagine. That night I was just like, couldn't stop having dreams that he was ill, and it was going into like dreams about him having some sort of zombie infection and all sorts of things. I couldn't sleep. It was stressful as hell. You can imagine. It was just like, when my mind just goes off on one, I can't help it. And yeah, they were relieved anyway, and we were all relieved, and he got to go back to nursery, and he's loved that. The days that he was there, we spent, so I was supposed to be on holiday Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but work suddenly got so busy because it's like post lockdown, everyone's buying security again. It's just gone nuts. So I was supposed to be off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but I ended up working half a Wednesday, and then I've been kind of on call almost, answering emails and messages every day since, which is fine because I kind of, you know, I make money out of that, and I'm only sat at home anyway. But I was like, it's been a really busy week, but Claire and Emily painted her room, which was really cool. I had to carry all the stuff around, lumbering it about, moving everything left and right to kind of fit it in. They've made it. I was going to film it, but I suddenly thought actually, Emily doesn't want me filming her bedroom. It's got her clothes out everywhere or whatever. It's not a mess, but she's still got to tidy it. But they painted a really nice grown-up shade of blue and got rid of all the pink now, which means she's kind of turning into a teenager. She doesn't like all the old pink she really liked when she was little. When we moved in, she picked it all, made it all bright pink, and now it's all grown up blue. Which was, it was interesting. I was a bit nervous last night because the whole house sort of smelled of paint, and I opened the bedroom door to air it a bit, and I heard her creep out and shut it again because she likes complete darkness when she sleeps and all of this. So, but yeah, they painted that for a couple of days while Ben wasn't about. I had to help them kind of take things off the wall, and it's mad how much stuff she has for an 11-year-old, but I had to sort of take her TV off the wall. And I sort of mentioned this on Twitter that my father-in-law keeps saying we should take it off the wall and put the legs on it, and then we can put it anywhere in the room and she can rearrange her room, because that's what she's been saying she wants to do. And I was like, I don't know what you're on about. We've never had legs or a stand for this. It's always been standless. And then when I took it off the wall, I just happened to notice the back of it, and I thought, this looks like a leg would fit in there. And I was like, I was holding these two black things last week in my room, just kind of banging them together, thinking, what the hell are they? Claire said she'd been using them as a stand for her iPad. She'd been putting them side by side and leaning an iPad on it. And I was just like, what are these for? And so I ran into the room and I found one of them, and I took it to the telly, lined it up, and it's a bloody leg for this telly that obviously we got when we got it, and I just stuck them on a shelf in my room. I can't for the life of me find the other one now. I'm looking everywhere. I keep thinking I'm going to find it, but I've looked under everything I can think of, anywhere it would have been. I know I was holding it a week ago, but I don't know where I've put it, which is typical, because I'd also, when he'd been going on about it, I'd been looking up stands for them on eBay, and they're like 30 quid, and I've been thinking about buying one. So I've convinced myself now that I shouldn't buy one until I've looked, but I know the second I buy them, I'm going to end up finding it. I'm in a catch-22 on this. It's just typical frustrating nonsense. But yeah, so she's delighted with her room. Poor old Claire's knackered. She's suddenly feeling really unwell because she's just been painting and doing. She hasn't had a rest. She needs a rest. She had a lie-in today, which was kind of. She asked for a lie-in today, but didn't really think about the fact that Ollie's been booked in to go to see his friend today, his mate at school. The one I mentioned in the past, he's got a friend who, 1 minute they're best friends, 1 minute they're enemies, they call each other frenemies and stuff like that. They've been playing loads on Roblox. It was the one who kind of popped up on Roblox during the height of lockdown, and Oliver was absolutely chuffed that he'd appeared and they were playing together. And, they were just delighted to see each other and be, really excited. So his mum messaged and said, would Oliver like to come over? And we were like, yeah, definitely would. And Claire dropped him there this morning. She sort of cut her lie-in short to take him. She said when she got there, they could hear the boy on the other side of the door going, Oliver's here, all excited and really pleased. And he's took his iPad with him to just play Roblox and hang out. They're going to McDonald's, they're going to go to the park and all of this. So yeah, I'm looking for, he's getting picked up in half an hour. So hopefully that's gone well. I haven't had any complaints yet, so we were nervous. We were like, go to the toilet, take a change of clothes, make sure you do this, like really military preparation, because he never really gets invited to people's houses, so it's a big deal that he gets to, and he's well excited, and his friend was excited. And yeah, it's probably the third time ever he's been invited out somewhere, and yeah, it's just nerve-wracking, isn't it? But he was very excited about the offer. He's more excited that it's his birthday tomorrow, and we needed him out of the way so that Claire could wrap everything. So she's been wrapping his presents today. He's got a lot of Adventure Time comics. He asked for a diamond, so we got him a diamond off of Amazon. It's about that big. I'll show that on a video at some point. We got him a diamond sword and pickaxe from Minecraft. We got him Tamagotchi Life on the 3DS. We got him Animal Crossing because he fancied that, so I might have a go at that. People have been pestering me to play it. What else did we get him? He's got a lot of books. Both his grandparents bought him a ton of books. So a puzzle. So, we got him a TV, but he's already had that. But we got him, that was his main present from us, a TV. But yeah, he's very excited. He keeps nervously saying to me, do you think I've got the diamond? Do you think someone will have got me it? And I'm like, well, I'm not telling you. And he's like, Emily said it's not a real diamond. And I'm like, well, I'd definitely put a real diamond on your list. Because I think Emily was just like, they're not going to get you a real diamond. They're worth millions. And it's like a crystal diamond. It's a proper thing. It looks really cool. It's got a little stand. It's like a paperweight, basically, but it was about 11 quid. It looks the part. It's exactly what you'd imagine a diamond would look like, and he's going to be well happy with it. I will film the present opening stuff because it's quite nice to have anyway, but I think I'll stick it in a video if it sort of works and everything. But yeah, it's exciting to think he's going to get that. Ben's excited because it's his birthday and Halloween tomorrow. Obviously we can't go trick-or-treating, but we've bought a load of sweets. We're gonna do pumpkin carving, apple bobbing. Claire's bought a load of ping pong balls that we're gonna throw around and play the kid equivalent of beer pong with. Yeah, it's going to be quite a nice day. Grandparents are going to come over because Emily's had no symptoms and she's all good. They're going to come over. Her 14 days ends. Actually, I don't know. She's 10 days in now, something like that. So we were kind of like, look, it's like, you're cool. You know, what do you want to do? Emily's had no symptoms. She's not been anywhere. It's not a risk. You know, we'll see what happens. They were fine. So that's what we're doing. So yeah, other than that, they've been the kids have been obsessing over some new event on Adopt Me on Roblox. I put on Twitter that I think it was Wednesday night. They just turned up to me with like £4 each in their hand going, the Halloween events are out on Roblox, we'd like to buy some Robux please, we've got £4 each, can you buy them? And I found this site online that you can kind of pay for Robux from someone abroad and they give you more for it and all of this. So I basically just went on there and bought them, but they've had a great few days playing that and obsessively telling me like I know what they're on about, that they got some albino bat that's rideable. And but bless Ollie, he got the as Emily put it, he unlocked the best thing you can get from the event straight away with his first attempt, where she didn't. But then he got another one and gave it to her straight away, and then he's got another one he's given to this friend he's seeing today. And I was like, Ollie, like, slow down. This game's all about trading. It's a bit like getting rare Pokemon and trading Pokemon. But he was like, no, but I want to help them out. I want to give them, you know, I'm really happy. And I thought that's really kind of him. It's funny actually, because I'm stuck in this kind of scenario of, I really like that he's thinking of others and he wants to treat his friends and family and he loves them and he wants to make sure they're happy. But I also don't want him being taken advantage of by giving people the thing that they're trying to get, you know? So I was trying to balance that, but I just enjoyed how lovely he was being, because he was really like, I gave Emily this, and I said, what's Emily giving you? And he said, nothing. And I was like, oh, she's got him. And she did say to me on the side, I am sorting him out like a birthday present in Roblox that I know he'll love. And I think she ended up telling him that because he was a bit, I don't know, he wasn't asking where his thing was, but I think he was talking about what they might get next and what they were doing. And he might have mentioned what she'd got him. So she was just saying to him, look, I've got you something and I'm just sorting it out now and all of this. So he's excited that she's promised him something in Roblox. And yeah, I just think it's a good sign of him, really. I used to worry about the game making them a bit funny, but they are quite grown up with it. It's, as I say, they didn't come to me and go, can you spend money on this? They were like, it's the Halloween event, we've saved this. I don't know where they've got £4 from. I mean, if I wasn't already fully aware we never have money in the house, like cash, I'd have worried that they've just taken it from me and given it back to me, which would have been genius. But they're not like that. But they must have had money like in their purses or whatever, like Emily's purse or Oliver's little pot of money that he has over time. And I don't mind them spending it on stuff like this. They're really excited about it. It's just a treat that they can buy themselves. It's better than buying sweets, isn't it? And normally I think that sort of money would go to like a Comic-Con event or something like that. We had a reminder pop up of last year's, no, it was the year before, because Ben was like a real small baby. And it just made me really nostalgic for going on events. And it's been a weird week for that, just seeing them dressed as Pikachu and Supergirl and getting pictures with Batman and Mario and stuff like that, and Ben being this tiny baby. And then it made me go and look at the next year's one where they're a bit older, and I just thought, God, I really missed that. It's like a really stressful weekend. And if I look at those pictures, I think at the time I really thought I was stressing too much, or I was anxious, or I was worried or whatever, and they weren't going to enjoy it. But looking at all the pictures and their memories of it, it was great. It was absolutely perfect. And obviously now we know about the special rooms there and stuff we can take Ollie in, it's even better. So yeah, I'm looking forward to them coming back. But yeah, it's overall, it's been an interesting week. It's been fun. For me, it's been quite busy. I've tried to do a bit more writing, doing my 3rd episode of this series. The lady I'm writing with messaged me saying she got a book on script writing and TV production, and I thought that was quite cool. She's doing a bit of research. I never know where we stand on this. It's one of those, I'm just taking a punt on it. Like, I always feel like I've said before in the past, I feel a bit unrealistic when I'm doing these things, but I'm enjoying it. I was really delighted when I think I said before, I sent her episode 2 and she called me a legend and was really excited about it. And I thought that made me feel really good, because I've done a good job there. We've done a good job there. It's not just me, obviously. I'm not saying like that, but she was happy with what I did, which made me feel really proud. I can't wait for people to eventually see it, even if they just read what we've done and help us kind of from there. It'd be cool. I've got obviously the next 2 days because it's the weekend, and then I'm back in on Monday. The next month looks ridiculously busy. My parents have done all their signings now. They're basically waiting for their exchange day on their move. I think they had to send some paperwork back the other day. They get given their date. They reckon it normally takes up to 3 weeks for this bit to work, so it could be sort of mid-November. I've told them I'll book a day off to help them move. My mum was like, you don't need to do that, really. We don't really get the keys till the afternoon and all of this. And I was like, well, I could do a half day then. I'll turn up. She's trying to be really polite and say, don't worry about it. And I'm like, no, I want to be involved. I want to help out. You know, if aside from anything, they're elderly now, they need the help. But no, I want to be involved. I'm excited. I want to see them. They've said they might come up as an excuse to see us all and measure the curtains and stuff like that. But it just seems insane. We worked out they've lived there longer than any other house we've ever had. 22 years they've lived in that house, and now they're moving for the first time in 2 decades. It's the first time in 18 years. I don't know, maybe not 18 years. How old am I? First time in 16 years, other than a brief stint when Emily was a baby, that we've lived near each other. You know, I've lived away from them for so long now. It's going to be really interesting having them nearby, especially after last time when they visited and they literally just let themselves in the front door. Claire's parents don't do that. That's going to be interesting. I don't mind them doing it. I find that quite funny. The first time I visited Kev's house, I apparently let myself in because I did knock and he didn't answer, but I knew he lived there, so I just opened the door. But he always laughs about that. I think I obviously get it from my mum, but yeah, it made me laugh. Just I was in the kitchen and she just appeared in the living room talking to me. I was like, oh, that's going to be something to get used to. But no, I'm excited. The kids are well excited. I've told them that the moment they're living up here, the kids, they're going to go over there and stay the night because we just want a night off. Emily was like, yeah, we can explore their bungalow and all of this. And I was like, I don't think Nanny and Granddad going to realise that, not long term, I don't want them to change their mind. The house, the ink isn't dry on the contract yet. They're not going to be our babysitters just on a whim. But it's been 9 months of lockdown, Mum. You can have them for a little bit. You can have them for a couple of days, I think. I'll allow it. Ben's not slept a full night in his own bed for about, I don't know, 5 months. So it's doing my head in a little bit that we don't get a straight night's sleep at the moment. I think that's why Claire's been feeling a little bit rough, because she gets the brunt of it. Because like this morning, he woke up really early. I went in there to see him. He was trying to get out of his open gate. He was so out of it, he couldn't understand the gate was open. And when he saw me, he ran and got under his covers and laid on the pillow and hid. And I was like, fine, okay, I'll go back to bed then. And because I went back to bed, he came running after me to see Claire. I was like, should we go downstairs? And he was like, no, I want Claire, like mummy. And yeah, ruined her lying again, so I had to sort of carry him off because it was a bit of a mess. But yeah, he just bless him, he's that age. And I kind of, because I know how the other two went, I know he's like maybe 6 months, 8 months away from being able to sleep through the night without bothering us. And I know that once we're at that point, everything becomes a lot easier. I'm desperate for him to, I don't want to wish his childhood away because it's cute when they're this age, but I really want him to get to school age so that we're free. I can actually sleep again. My mates all laugh and point out that this is normally the point in the cycle where Claire decides she misses having a baby. But at the moment, all signs point to there's no room in the house, there's no room in the car, there's no room anywhere. We haven't got the budget, the time, the energy, the strength to do it again. But she always says that at this point, so I'm desperately holding on to the fact that it just is logistically impossible. If I end up coming into a vast fortune and buying a 5-bed house, then alarm bells will start ringing. But at the moment, that seems very unlikely. I don't need a 4th kid. If my 4th child is watching this in 10 years' time to look at their history, I really apologise. You were no doubt planned. And the 4-year Olympic cycle obviously came true again. But yeah, at the moment, no. I don't know how I got onto that, but I'm going to stop talking now because I recognise that Claire needs to go get Ollie at some point, and she's probably listening to me going, why doesn't he shut up and hurry up? But I hope you're all well. Let me know in the comments how you're getting on. It's been a bit of a weird video this week, but it's just been a weird week. It's been a weird month. I'm looking forward to everything calming down and being more normal and festive. Although a weird festive period. But yeah, just things feel like they're just constantly bizarre at the moment, don't they? I hope you're all well, as I say. Let me know in the comments how you're getting on. Subscribe, all of that stuff, the usual nonsense. And I'll see you again soon. I won't leave it till the end of the week next week. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.